Today, the Senate opened its impeachment trial against President Trump.
Now, the House formally presented its articles of impeachment, followed by a swearing-in ceremony for all U.S. senators in attendance. Matt Pritchard is in Washington, D.C. tonight with the details.
Senate tradition. Lawmakers are moving forward and weighing the allegations against President Trump from the House. 7 House impeachment managers marching across the Capitol.
The Senate will be in order.
Formally presenting 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump to the United States Senate.
Article 1, abuse of power. Article 2, obstruction of Congress. President Trump thus warrants impeachment and trial, removal from office, and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States.
Then Chief Justice John Roberts sworn in to preside over the trial.
You will do impartial justice according to the Constitution and the laws, so help you God.
I do.
Followed by an oath from the entire Senate, one that comes with an expectation of silence.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons are commanded to keep silent on pain of imprisonment.
Even still, sharp words went back and forth Thursday as debate continues over the entire process.
The gravity of these charges is self-evident to anyone who is not self-interested.
The House's hour is over. The Senate's time is at hand.
I think it should go very quickly. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. Everybody knows that.
And the Senate returns on Tuesday to hear opening arguments. In Washington, Matt Pritchard, WXII 12 News.
Matt, thank you. The only senator missing was a Republican from Oklahoma due to a family home medical issue. He says he plans to be back for that full trial next week. A new trade deal is heading to the president's desk. The Senate today also passed the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement in a bipartisan vote, 89-10. The now 3-nation pact needs just Canada's approval to formally take effect. North Carolina Senator Thom Tillis voted to pass that deal, saying it'll provide opportunities to farmers, workers, and small business owners in North Carolina, among other places.
A beloved, nearly 100-year-old restaurant in Elkin is closing its doors, leaving a lot of their longtime customers heartbroken.
Let's go to Steve King. He spent the day at Royals Soda Shop to find out what's next for the business and why this particular closure is a little bit more complicated than most. Steve.
Kenny, Brianna, well, customers have walked through these doors of Royal Soda Shop since 1923. But starting on January 31st, those days will be over. Royal Soda Shop is not just a restaurant. It's a place filled with memories.
I've been coming here since I was a little girl.
What do you think makes this place so special?
People. People.
Tina Holloway and her husband own the restaurant now, and Tina still cherishes her memories here while growing up.
With friends from school, sitting in the booths, looking at everyone's name, giggling, laughing, just being kids and having fun.
But on January 31st, this beloved downtown Elkin business will close.
What's just kind of going through your mind right now?
Just get through the rest of the month and figure out what we're going to do next. We put our blood, sweat, and tears into this place. It's disheartening, but we're okay.
I am heartbroken.
This space right here is special because it's been here so long.
Go slow.
The owners say they have to close for 2 reasons. They say there is not as much foot traffic near the business because of increased downtown congestion caused by the I-77 improvement project. They also say there is not enough investment by the town of Elkin to help downtown businesses. However, the DOT says the I-77 improvement project is critical for the safety of commuters across the state. And Elkin town leaders say they've invested more than $1 million in downtown improvement projects over the last 4 years, so it's unfair to say they are not committed to helping downtown businesses grow. However, both the DOT and Elkin town leaders say they too are sad to see Royal Soda Shop's doors close. The owners say they are working to open in a new location somewhere in the area. Reporting live in downtown Elkin, Steve King, WXII 12 News.
Steve, thank you. Tonight we know the name of that Fort Bragg trooper who died in a training exercise out in Arizona earlier this week. The Army says 36-year-old Master Sergeant Nathan Goodman of Hope Mills died in what they describe as a routine free-fall parachute exercise. Free-falling is when soldiers jump from an aircraft and delay opening their parachutes. Goodman joined the Army, or has served in the Army since 2002, completing 4 deployments to Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa, and Kyrgyzstan. Army officials say his death is under investigation.
Sentencing for former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn is being pushed back. It was scheduled for January 28th, but Flynn asked a judge to allow him to withdraw his guilty plea for lying to the FBI about communicating with the Russian ambassador. Flynn recently said he was tricked into agreeing to the plea agreement. The judge has not decided yet whether Flynn can withdraw his plea, but sentencing has been rescheduled for February 27th.
In Winston-Salem, investigators tonight are looking for 2 suspects involved in a car chase. Forsyth County deputies, as you see here, ended up pulling an SUV from a pond. They say it was first spotted leaving Martin's Trail Circle at about 1:30 a.m. today. They were responding to a call about a suspicious person at the time. They say the driver refused to stop. The chase ended in Winston-Salem, where we're told 2 people ran off but were later arrested. The chase began and ended in the city. That's when 4 people jumped out and took off. 2 of them were arrested.
North Carolina is reporting 11 more people have died from the flu. Last week marks the deadliest so far this season. So far, 33 people have died from the flu in the state since October 1st. That's compared to 23 by the same time last year. We're only 15 weeks into flu season, which typically lasts until the end of May. And if you know a millennial, you may want to stay clear of them until flu season's over. They are least likely to get a flu shot. 1,000 adults were surveyed about flu myths and misconceptions. More than half of millennials said they didn't get a flu shot this year. The survey data also shows that men were more likely to skip the flu shot than women.
She grew up in Greensboro battling poverty and homelessness, but she never lost sight of her dream.
Sometimes life is hard and you don't have any control over it, but the one thing you have control of that no one can take away from you is your education.
Still ahead in 12 Inspires, how an assistant principal is using her childhood experience to help others.
I'm Bree Jackson in Washington, where a panel reviewing 2 deadly plane crashes involving Boeing 737 MAX 8 planes say the safety approval process was effective. More on their findings next.
Go ahead and find your jacket because the cold winter air is returning. We're also going to talk about rain and even a chance for a brief wintry mix coming up.
WXII 12 forecast is always available on the free WXII 12 app. Stay connected with Chief Meteorologist Lainey Pope on her Facebook page.
A Department of Transportation panel reviewing the certification of passenger planes ruled that the Federal Aviation Administration's process is safe, but there is room for improvement.
The committee was formed after those two deadly crashes involving the Boeing 737 MAX 8 planes. Bree Jackson is in Washington with the details.
The committee found that the FAA followed certification rules when it approved new passenger planes, including the Boeing 737 MAX 8. The report follows crashes in Indonesia and Ethiopia that killed 346 people. In the wake of these accidents, the Department of Transportation formed a committee to review airline safety and the FAA's certification process. The committee found that the FAA's system of delegating some inspections to aircraft manufacturers, including Boeing, is effective. However, the findings conflict with critics who say there was deception on the part of Boeing. Lawmakers are considering whether more oversight of the certification process is still needed. Committee members caution that dismantling the current certification system could put lives at risk. The committee's recommendations to enhance airline safety include improving workforce development and sharing data with international partners. In Washington, I'm Bree Jackson.
Well, it's never fun when a light goes out in your house. You're in the dark. It might be a little scary. Imagine being in outer space. A couple of spacewalking astronauts had to improvise when the lights went out on one of their helmets. Jessica Meir and Christina Cook were just getting started on battery replacements Wednesday when Cook's helmet camera and the lights went off. She's from NC State originally. Fortunately, they were able to get by with just enough light to get the job done. Last October, the two teamed up for the first ever all-female spacewalk in the world.
Well, sometimes in life things happen that can make it really difficult to continue higher education. But today, Governor Roy Cooper was part of a celebration to help students cross the finish line. He stopped by Alamance Community College to help present the Finish Line Grant. So far, the college has awarded 122 of these grants to students who have had to stop their college education because of health issues or other emergencies.
For North Carolina to be competitive in the global manufacturing marketplace, that trades education is absolutely essential. We can find degreed mechanical engineers, but where we really struggle is finding the talent.
Today, 2 students were awarded the grant. Without it, they say they would have had to drop out of school. The grant's been awarded 3,000 times so far in North Carolina. 2000 to 2010 was the hottest decade on record, and 2019 was the second warmest year. National
Atmospheric and Oceanic Administration says we are setting new records. NOAA has been keeping records now for 140 years. Ocean temperatures were also the highest on record just last year.
A journal echoes these findings, saying there's evidence the world's oceans are warming at an accelerated rate. The 2010s averaged 58.4 degrees Fahrenheit worldwide, and that's 1.4 degrees higher than the 20th century average.
And right on cue, Chief Meteorologist Lainey Pope is here to tell us not about a big warm-up, but a big cool-down coming, right?
Back into the closet, try to find that jacket.
Yeah.
We haven't
What
needed
is it?
hardly at all in January.
Not since last year.
So we've been really lucky. Now we're going to see temperatures that are going down. In fact, down below freezing starting tonight. Hey, look at Greensboro, where we had the clouds early and we managed to erode them this afternoon, and now we've got clear skies in the forecast for tonight, and we'll have some sunshine at least early tomorrow. It won't be this warm, but boy, have we had a stretch where we've had temperatures in the upper 60s on Saturday. It was 72, remember, a record high on Sunday. 60s around for Monday, Tuesday, as well as Wednesday. Our high this afternoon also up and over 60 degrees at 61. We're going to be seeing highs in the 30s and 40s coming up. Right now our temperatures are in the 50s and low 60s. Burlington's at 61, 58 in Asheboro, 57 in Mocksville, and it's already cold in the mountains. That's because our front, which is down by the coast, that cold air is coming to the mountains, but it's got to build up and over the mountains before we feel it across the foothills in the Triad. And they've got strong winds too along the mountain ridges, 30 to at times 50-mile-an-hour winds, so that's why we do have a wind advisory that's going to stay up from now until midnight, and that means we could still have some gusts close to 50 miles an hour. So isolated power outages, isolated trees down, those are still a possibility. Again, that front is down toward the coast. We've got rain out here over Arkansas, and that moisture will be coming back. So tomorrow we get clouds returning, especially late in the day, and then some precipitation moving in on Saturday. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you are definitely going to notice a huge difference. Mid-20s in the forecast in the mountains, upper 20s when we start in the Triad. And then we're not warming up all that much. We've got a high tomorrow afternoon of 45. It's sunny early. The clouds start to build in late in the day, but it is precipitation free. For the foothills, we're looking for temperatures that are in the mid 40s by late day, also starting in the 20s. And we've got a high in the mountains of 40 degrees, also with a light north wind. Now, let's focus on the weekend. We know the clouds come back tomorrow. For Saturday, it's a cold rain. There is a chance that we could see an area of a wintry mix. It'll be brief, and we're not expecting any impact from this. We just say it because you may see it actually falling from the skies. So it's possible, at least for a brief window there on Saturday, it'll be a touch wintry, but this is not a major winter storm. There's plenty of cold air, and there is moisture that is to the south and west. And then we're going to see that storm system we've been watching way out west continue to move east and into our neighborhoods. So Friday again is a chilly day, even in Wilmington at 44. Moving into Friday night, early Saturday morning. We expect temperatures will be in the low 30s in the Triad and expecting some 20s in the mountains. Now, if it gets colder than that in the Triad, that'd be a little bit of a flag that, hey, we might be getting a colder start, so we may be at least introducing that idea of a wintry mix in the Triad. But it doesn't look like the precipitation moves in until late morning, midday. So the best chance for wintry weather is in those favored areas right up against the mountains. But we're going to be wedged in with some cold air, so it's definitely going to be a chilly rain in the Triad. And we'll be watching this closely as we could see our temperatures stay in the 30s on Saturday. Right now, the Saturday forecast for the Triad has a high of 40 degrees with clouds, and yes, it is rainy. So take a look at the 7-day. We have got temperatures again with highs in the 40s, even 30s. And then watch those nighttime lows. They are down close to teens for Tuesday and Wednesday morning.
Thanks, Lainey. Checking traffic. This is I-40 near Sandy Ridge Road right now in Colfax. It is busy, but no crashes to report in this area.
Chances are, last time you ate a banana, you threw away the peel, right? Well, you might be doing it wrong. Why some people say you should hang on to it just a little bit longer.